Hello, hello. What is going on? Welcome back to Level Up with Gal. I'm your host, Gal Perino. I'm super excited to dive in today for another topic, another episode where I'm going to bring down all my knowledge in every freaking episode, little by little, and all the trauma I've been through, how I work through it to help you work through all the shit you're going through and all the freaking trauma. So, where you can show up every single day as your best freaking true, authentic self. So before we dive in, make sure you hit the subscribe button so you never miss any new episodes with your girl Gal. So today's topic is going to be about your intentions, setting your intentions. What does that mean? How do you set your intentions, right? Do you even do that? So I want to spend a little time talking about this and how I set my intentions to help you set intentions in your freaking life. So number one, first question is, do you set any intentions in your life? And if you're listening to this, you're like, what the hell are you talking about? We're going to talk about it. Don't worry. So for me personally, what I like to do is, I like to write down my goals and know what I'm working towards and what I want to work towards and what I am working towards and why it's freaking important to me. And I also set an intention of the outcome that I am hoping for, the outcome that I want, and the actions that I'm going to take. So it's like planning what action I'm going to take so I can achieve that. And a lot of times too, well, actually not a lot of times, I do this too. I don't know why I said that. But what I like to do is to also write down what the potential outcomes are. Like I'm going to set my intentions of what I want it to be, but I also know sometimes everything doesn't work out as we plan, and that is just reality. So I also like to write down what could possibly happen so I know already before it happens. And it doesn't mean I'm going to be 100% right either. Of course, my goal and my intention is to hope that is going to go well. That is what we all want, right? So like anything. So even like a weight loss journey, right? My goal, I have a goal, right? And then I set my intentions of what I want it to be and how I want to get there, what I'm going to do to get there, and how I'm going to maintain. Okay. So I've gone through some stuff the last 6 months of my life. And, I was like very, very good prior to that, to maintaining my weight goal and maintaining my weight, I should say, because I hit my goal. And I changed my goal too, because I got super, super skinny. And then I actually didn't like how I looked because I was actually too skinny. So I decided that I wanted to gain some weight and, change the way I looked to really, really love how I looked, right? Well, and when I did that, and know that too, you can do that, because for so long I thought I just want to be skinny. I just want to be skinny. I'm going to drop a bunch of weight and I'm going to be super skinny and I'm going to be happy. And it's not always that way. So I got super tiny, and then I was like, gosh, I look like a skinny pencil. Like I don't like the way I look. Like what happened to my hips? What happened to my booty? Like I'm just a stick figure. And I personally did not like that. So I decided to, back then decided to add weights and add more weight and all that stuff. Right. So long story short, we're human. Okay. We all go through some shit. Let's acknowledge that. And I'm human too. So last 6 months of my life has drastically changed so much, and some by choice, some things not, but through all of it, I've learned a lot of lessons. And I'm sharing this because through the last 6 months, some of my very consistent good habits, let's be serious. I dropped the ball on some of them, especially my fitness stuff. I went through a period of time where I was going through some shit, and I literally started to not work out anymore. And I started to slowly fall back into these patterns that I used to have, that I really thought I have surpassed them. And now they're coming back out. Like, what's happening? And it was like, just sitting on the couch and just eating and eating. And that's something that I did 7 years ago, why I weigh over 175 pounds and why I was so miserable. So you would think, like, why would you do that to yourself again? Right. Yeah. I thought the same, but I'm not 175 pounds. I didn't gain all that weight back, but I did gain some weight. And I acknowledge that, you know what, I am going through something right now, and it's okay sometimes to fall off the bandwagon and I needed to take some time to figure out what is going on. why is this happening in my life when something so important like my health and fitness is super important to me? And now all of a sudden it's not that it's not important to me anymore. I just no longer wanted to do it. I just didn't want to do anything. And I'm like, am I depressed? What is going on? Why do I feel this way? Like, and I started to think back about like, hey, did I let myself acknowledge what has happened in my life? Did I let myself feel what I feel so I can heal? And I can truly, I can move forward and actually close this chapter in my life. And for a while, I'm like, yeah, I did, I'm good, right? And I want to share this too, because as much as we change and we move forward and we start to do better and we're transitioning and going through these transformations, it is so easy and quick. It's so easy and it's so quick that happens where we fall back into old habits and old trends. And I want to share that because it's super important. So, and I've been so consistent for, 7 years of my life. And then all of a sudden, boom, right? I felt like I was right back to that girl who was trying to lose weight again and, not wanting to work out and just feeling sad and in a slump and what is going on. And the gal 7 years ago, I'm like, I don't know what's going on, but I don't want to do it. I'm not going to do it. But through everything I've been through, I have more knowledge now and more experience. So I'm like, I am going through some shit right now. And my intention that I am setting is to let myself feel what I feel, not beat myself up. If I don't want to work out today, I'm not going to. And I don't want you to think of it as like when I say, especially, when I talk about like working out, like if you want to get something done, do it, right? Of course. But what I'm saying, when you're in a slump or you're in a certain situation and you are trying to heal and you're trying to understand what is going on with your mind, your body, or the way you feel, cut yourself some slack. And I don't mean cut yourself some slack if, like skipping your workout every single day. Okay. But for me personally, so much has shifted in my life, the consistent pattern and structure I had changed. Right. So I chose to leave my full-time day job at that time. And even before I chose to leave, to be honest, it was so rocky. Like I was under so much stress, so much pressure, and I would clench like crazy. And it was to a point where like my dentist was like, what is going on with your teeth? And I wear retainers. Okay. My retainer would be like slightly crushed and they were concerned like I was going to like bust through them and that I must be clenching so freaking hard that, these thick ass retainers are literally going to break. And what is going on? And at that time, I was like, I'm invincible. I can do anything, like I'm that determined little girl and, I can handle so much. But what was happening is I was under a lot of stress. And, I take responsibility for that too, because I know how I am. And I know that I was like, yeah, I can do it. Yeah, bring it on. You want to give me more work? Yeah, I got it. And I just feel like nothing can stop me used to be my thinking. Like I can take on so much. I can do so much and it's okay. No matter how stressful it is, I'm just going to work the extra hours and I'm going to do it. Right. So I do take responsibility for saying yes and taking it on. But at the same time, the amount of responsibilities and stress that was put on me when it should have been the amount of work that was accomplished by me was really should have been a team effort of multiple people. And looking back now, no wonder I was stressed out. It was like, I have no regrets because I learned so much and I learned that I need to have better boundaries. I thought I had really good boundaries and I learned that I didn't have as good boundaries as I should have had. And I shouldn't have worked as much as I did either. And I took on a lot. I took on way too much than I should have and that I could have because it almost fully broke me. Mentally, it took so much out of me. And looking back, I'm not gonna lie, I learned a lot. I would not want to go through it again, for sure not, just because it was so much. But for so long, just being in it, it became my normal. And I was like used to that stress. And even with my dentist saying, hey, what's going on with your teeth? Like you're grinding like crazy, you're clenching like crazy. This is not like how like this is not what we've seen before. And I'm like, oh, I'm good. I'm good. Everything's peachy key. Slow down and acknowledge what's actually happening. Okay. I'm not saying you have to leave your job. I'm saying, have a conversation. And if there's possibility for improvement where you are, awesome. If not, I would recommend finding something else. I chose to leave for my mental health, and I chose to leave to pursue what I love to do full time, which is coaching. And I always thought in my mind, like, if I want to go back and do something else, I will, but not at the same capacity and not with the experience I had. I would look for something different and to do something different and to impact people's lives in a different way as well. So I'm not like against working, another day job. I'm not against that at all. But what I am against is working like to be worked like crazy to the point of it mentally wearing me out to a point where like I started to lose myself, started to not recognize who I was in the mirror. And I took responsibility that I allowed that to happen to me. And I'm sharing this because somebody who has been down this journey before, and someone who is constantly developing myself and going through, a transformation all the time and working on myself all the time, that this still happened to me. So I had to take some time to allow myself to acknowledge how I felt, the experience that I went through, and why it happened the way it did, and what lessons for me to learn from that. I learned a lot, I'm not gonna lie, set boundaries, to learn for fight for myself, to learn when too much is too much, to stop being, to stop taking the praise and validation, and to keep doing more and more and more and more. Yes, we can make more money. At one point I was making more and more, and it wasn't helping my mental health. I was feeling worse and worse and worse. So acknowledge how you feel and talk to the people that you can, or try to, and see how it goes. If it doesn't work out, then fight for yourself, stand up for yourself, and set the intention to look for something else. Something else will come up. Okay. And I kind of went down a rabbit hole there, but really want you to set your intentions in anything that you do. And, if it's that weight loss journey that you want to go down, right? So now for me personally, I want to lose a couple more pounds. So to get back to where like I felt really good. I feel good now, but for me to feel like great, and I let myself have that time to heal, let myself have that time to acknowledge everything I was going through, to not just do what I used to do, which was just push it aside and just move forward. No, I took the time to acknowledge it and process it, and I'm no longer angry about it, but I'm a better person today because of it. So same goes for you. Take the time to acknowledge what you're going through, process what you're going through, and set that intention that you're going to, like, I set the intention, like, I'm going to allow myself to heal. I set the intention that I will heal from this situation, and it will get better. And with with my weight, I'm like, I set attention that this happened. I gained a couple pounds that I didn't want to gain, but I needed it to happen through my healing journey, and it did. And I'm going to lose those couple pounds. If I have been able to lose over 55 pounds, I can lose a couple pounds. And same thing goes for you. Acknowledge where you're at, what's going on in your life, set the intention of where you want to go, what outcome you want to happen, why it's important to you. And because if you don't set attention at all, and you're just winging it, right? Just keep winging life. But how is anything going to work out in your favor? And how are you going to be like, are you going to be, and I get it. Let me back up. I get it. If you're listening to this and you're like, I don't want to set an intention of what I want outcome to be because I don't want my heart broken, right? Because I also heard someone say like, well, I just have no expectations of anyone because they just like, if they let me down, whatever, right? That's coming from the ego there, where you're protecting yourself because you're protecting yourself automatically. You don't even give that person the benefit of the doubt that they may come through, right? Or whatever the situation is. You're automatically protecting yourself and saying, you know what? The outcome was maybe shit, whatever, because I don't want to be hurt, right? So if it's shit, right, if the outcome is shitty, then you're like, okay, I'm good. That's what I expected. But if the outcome is good, you might be like, oh my gosh, yeah, that's awesome. I get it. But how about we look at things by like, hey, this is the outcome and the intention I'm setting that I'm hopeful for, and I'm going to manifest that, because what we think about, what we manifest creates, and our thoughts and everything creates our reality. So be really mindful of what you think and what you wish for and what you want. It's super important to set those intentions in everything that you do in your everyday life. And why is it important for you to get certain things done? Why is it important for you to show up, and be your best self? Why is it important for you to do the job that you got hired to do? Why is it important for you to be a good spouse? What is the intention behind everything that you're doing? Start to think about that. There's an intention there. Whether you said it or not, there's already an intention there up in your head, up there. So might as well do the work, set the intention of what outcome you want. I went to a networking event last week, and my intention is to go and connect with people and to give value, to listen to them, to be make sure I'm saying this correctly. So there's something I said to myself before I walked into the event is to be interested instead of trying to be super interesting. Yes, I'm still going to go do my pitch and all that, but let me get to know people. That was my intention. My intention is not to go and meet, 70 people and sell to every single person. That was not my intention. My intention is I want to attract the people that are for me, and I want to go and be interested in them, get to know them and learn about them. And if they ask about me, I'll share. That was my intention. So you see, I could have also went and said, like, I have no intention at all. I'm just going to go and see how it goes. Yeah, you can do that, but it means so much more when you set that intention, you follow through that intention. And I had one of the best experiences like that of my life of networking, to be honest. And I've done this multiple times because I really set the intention for my heart. Okay. So if you have any questions on that, let me know. Go out there, set your intentions, and allow yourself to feel what you feel, and set the intention of what you want what outcome you want, why you're doing what you're doing, and how you're going to show up at this event or that thing or this or that, whatever, wherever you're going, or that Zoom class, or, that call today with your boss, whatever, how you're going to show up is super freaking important. So I hope you found this freaking helpful. Make sure you subscribe, leave a review if you found this helpful. Share this on your social media accounts with your friends, family, anyone, and let's impact the world together, one freaking episode at a time together. We are all connected and we're all on a healing journey together. Keep doing you, keep shining bright, keep doing you, keep shining bright. I messed that up. And then don't let anyone dim your freaking, this is real life, dim your light. And remember to spread love and kindness to anyone that you cross paths with you, because you may be one person that sheds light on their lives to help them keep going one more hour and one more day. I love every single one of you. Thank you so much for tuning in, and I'll catch you all in the next episode.